Hello, Dieuwke van Buren from B Building in Amsterdam. Great to meet you again. We had the Coworking Europe conference hosted by you 2 years ago. It was an awesome experience.
Yes.
We loved it. We loved Amsterdam. We loved everything about what was happening there. It was an opportunity to catch up and see how things are doing for you, number one. And also how you are, what kind of measure you are taking in the big buildings in Amsterdam for the moment, which is just a reminder, it's one of the biggest co-working space in the Netherlands. It's not the biggest, I don't know. And I saw, for instance, some pictures of how you were setting up the event rooms with rows of chairs which were separated by 1.5 meter or 2 meters.
Yes.
It was interesting how you were figuring out the new layout for your events and for your space. So first of all, how are you doing, and have you reopened now in Amsterdam?
Yeah, we have never closed actually, because we're in Holland, we're in an intelligent lockdown. So we had advice to work from home, but we were not supposed to like close the building. So that's also fine for our members. So people can come in, working, get their stuff. And also we have plenty of space, so we can work with the social distancing. That's no problem.
So can you remind us, so the surface is like, it's 20,000 square meters, something like that?
It's in total, we have 48,000 square meters. It's like offices, but also events. And events is a big part of our ecosystem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we never closed, but it was very quiet. We see people starting up again. So last week we see more people coming in, and a couple of weeks ago we decided already to order and design some walking routes, stickering, placement, waiting lines, but also door stoppers on every door. So because we thought like, okay, this is going to be taking a while, and let's go for it.
So are the people back into the place, or is it still very quiet?
No, it's very quiet. It's now like 9:10, and if I will show you around, I'm now in the lounge.
Yeah.
Now, normally you will see there are a lot of people sitting.
Yeah.
So few people are getting coffee right now because we opened that. And we also did the seating. So I sit here next to Greta Thunberg, if she's coming.
Okay, good.
So we decided to sit like not to place like don't sit here, but we want to do it like more like entrepreneurial way. And also in the whole building, we ask for like everyone's responsibility that they have to take. Together we have to take this responsibility, and we don't want to have like stop signs or red color, red and white, and like a caution environment, but we want to have like a positive dynamic environment where we can still have the social distancing.
So as you were saying, events is one of your main activity in the building.
Yeah.
We know very well this reality in your space. So what is happening? Do you see the pipe, filling up again, or is it still very quiet?
No, not
yet.
Everyone is like events is for us a big business still. We do a lot of events during the year, and we literally had to close down the event space when like the high season was coming for events. So it was a really big impact for us, and still it is. Companies are now asking for event spaces, and also if now they see that we have to we designed the spaces, also catering spaces and lunches, like that it's possible still. Companies are a little bit anxious about hosting something. For in the Netherlands now, it's allowed from the 1st of June 30 people, and from the 1st of July it will be 100 people, but we don't know how the market is gonna is going to develop, because people are still a little bit anxious, what I said, and also it's company wise, and you don't want to have your company getting like a COVID sickness because you did an event. So it's a bit, they're a bit anxious, but we took all the measures. So we see that people are coming over to look at these measures, and then they are like, oh yeah, this is going to be safe for us. And that's for us the most important thing, to get a safe environment.
So we are still in the phase where people are coming back and just checking in and seeing indeed, okay, they're in the first step of reconsidering to also, that's where we are.
You saw like the first thing, everyone was working home and was really like, okay, now we have to stay at home, but you see now the economic impact of it, so people are really starting up a bit, and also just like checking out if it's safe and if it's possible, and what can we do still, what can we host still during these measures. We also set up a live stream so that you can have your event over here, your speakers, you have the top-notch technical instruments to get your event online. And you also see that people are really up for that, because you still have the vibe from speakers coming in. You don't have like everyone is checking in from home and it's not working. So we set it up, and we see that people are also now discovering more of these options. First they thought like, okay, no, we're gonna cancel it and we'll see it later this year. But now they think, no, we can't like pause our economy. We just wanna go further, and then on this kind of ways.
So does it mean that, for instance, events which are planned in September and later in the year are still on the agenda, or no, you have to deal with quite a big proportion?
Yeah, they're still on the agenda, but it's not certain that we are able to host them due to the government measures, of course. It's all about like what's COVID's gonna do, and how the measures from our government will be. So people are still planning, and they're still planning now. They're planning again for September onwards. But it's a huge impact still, and people are still a bit like, okay, I don't know, a bit anxious actually.
Sure. And so you were mentioning the streaming. So that's for a lot of spaces. We are indeed considering that online will become the new normal or the new service. Are you seeing that this way, that actually that we are at a shifting time when indeed more and more of these venues that we are going to have and manage will be actually places where we will record actually content for the online consumption?
Yeah, I saw people think like, okay, we're gonna do our event later on, but now I see, because this is gonna be for a while actually. So I'll see that the questions are coming in more. But still, I think live meeting and meet each other here in person is way more valuable.
Yeah. But is it, for instance, something? So also from a business perspective, that's of course I guess you charge it, or is it now part of the, like you are leasing out a meeting room? It has chairs. It has a screen, but now it needs to have a camera and a microphone, things like that, by standard. And that's become part of the whole service, whereas before it was something that was totally up to the customer to put in place.
Yeah, the audiovisual equipment is it's a bit more expensive now to set everything up. It's a different kind of event organizing.
Yeah. Have you a clearer picture about that for the future already, or is it still in the making? And
for now, I think people have to get used to it. So I think maybe it's going to be more that you're going to do events like you have 30 or 50 people here on location, and then you can add, like you can chop in by Zoom or by any other video calling. But for now we can see it actually, and we can't. We don't know what's going to do. Still.
How about the co-working part? Now that we have all this impression that everybody all of a sudden figured out that remote working was actually working, and that
Yeah.
was a big surprise for a big deal of people. Do you expect an impact on that? Do you see already do you get already some feedbacks or some signs that there is a bigger interest that it used to be in the past, or is it also quite early?
No, what we see with co-work was also the first 2 weeks, everyone was working from home and not coming in. And then after 2 weeks already, and it was quite more early than the office spaces, which have like more employees, because the co-working space is filled by entrepreneurs themselves, and they are their own boss in that option. So they were starting coming in after 2 weeks already, and you saw that they said like, yeah, okay, from home, here it's way more safe. I feel way more safe than in a supermarket, because we have plenty of space. We have big desks. We took the measures about 1.5 meter. So we see actually now a bit like, a lot of tours are coming in, asking new subscriptions already.
All right.
And I think that will be more because people now know that remote working is possible, but you want to work close to your home. You don't want to be at home all the time. So I see there a big opportunity for us. Think of corporates or big companies who are just maybe in Utrecht and you live in Amsterdam, and then you say like, okay, today is my home working day, but I will work in a dynamic space like B. And I think people are going to look for a remote working place, but not at home.
Yes.
So that will be, I think it will be an opportunity for us also.
Yes, close to the home walking kind of concept.
Yes, like I go by bike to B. So what the government also said to us was like, okay, you have to work from home, but that's more because they wanna don't put pressure on the public transport. Yeah. So yeah, if you go by bike or walk to your office, that will be a different thing. And that's also the good thing about Amsterdam. Everything is bikeable, if you can say it like that.
Yeah. But more and more cities are now trying to look like Amsterdam. Have you seen that? It's in more and more capitals. They are just getting rid of the cars and the roads and just transforming it into bicycle lanes and places where indeed Copenhagen and Amsterdam are becoming like the model that everybody wants to embrace.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like
but and indeed in the Netherlands for a lot of people in Europe or in the world, it's like a very advanced country in terms of teleworking and future of work. So would you say that we go a step further now in the Netherlands thanks to the virus, or it's just the trends which was there and it would have happened any time?
No, I think with digital working and remote working, we really did like a sprint about that, because people didn't know that it was possible like that. Even
in the Netherlands.
Even in the Netherlands. Yeah, because working from home wasn't that popular anymore, and that's more because it was working from home, and that's differently from working remote.
Yeah.
Because working remote can help actually. What I really experience myself is that I'm really working more like task minded when I'm not here at B, because here I will walk into every member every 2 minutes and my colleagues and everything. For me, I thought, hey, it's good to work somewhere else than in our office or in the place where I know a lot of people, because I will work way more task minded. And so I think people are really experience that too, and they will see it also like that. So I think remote working is gonna take a growth. Working from home after this experience from all the people, I don't know, because home is still a bit like home. You want to have it.
Yeah, it's a kitchen and your laundry room.
And of course there were also a lot of children were home, so that makes the experience not really really better actually.
So it's impressive because again we have the feeling like the Netherlands is just 10 years ahead of everybody in terms of adoption of those teleworking and remote working. But what you say is actually no, there was still a big way to go. It just maybe that somewhere in some places we are at 5% and you are at 10%, and but there was all the way to go in order to have a much more higher adoption.
Yeah, still, and also still that because still we're still figuring out like how can we work and meet each other via Zoom or other tools, and we're still figuring out what's the best way, even after 6 weeks. But we also see that it's possible that we're just like three of us are here and 3 of us are on the call, and that's working really fine. So you still have like the social contact that you need in the dynamic, but not everyone needs to be here. And I think that's gonna take a really grow in what's gonna happen also with working environments and spaces. And it will be an opportunity. And of course, there will also be less office space maybe, or less co-working space. But then the other way, there will also a lot of people more like work more locally, actually. Because there are a lot of campaigns like buy local, shop local. Now, work local is also one that we can use.
Yeah, it's what you say. It's the local supply ID applied to the work environment. Actually, that's also kind of just the work chapter of this bigger stream of procure your things close to your home, and so it's sustainable. It's better for you as well as a
people also think more sustainable right now. Like why do we have to travel all around the world, but even all around the country like in one day? Why does it have to be like that? And you see people thinking about that more, and maybe we'll see the local part will be rising now, and everyone is buying local, shop local, work local, and maybe a bit more like add more value to their place where they work or live. And
that's it. So what I take from our discussion is that it sounds like we are going to a more hybrid way to work, communicate, have events. So as we were saying, that maybe we are going to have less crowded events, or events with less people, but also with an online dimension. But as you said,
I think it will be a combi. I think in the end it will be a combination. And of course, we are dying to meet each other again. But it could be also in smaller groups. But then in the end, for the event market, it's a bit like, okay, you like a festival. If you organize a festival or something, like for 50 people, it will be it will be a business. So that's the most important thing, of course, that you also want to have commercial business running due to the event. So that's also what we have to figure out, like what's the new business model about events, or what's the new business model about hosting a space like this.
To some extent it's the exciting time as well to reinvent all those things, maybe. And
maybe in 10 years we say like, wow, this was the good period. But still I think it's still hard, because it's hard to see. We have a lot of members, like 400 companies here in B, and a lot of companies are really like having a tough time. So that's also why my mood and emotion is going like this. I'm really positive, and like, yes, we're gonna be better out of it, and we're gonna have a lot of opportunities in this situation. But on the other hand, I see also a lot of companies, and even ourselves, we're really find a way to manage this period and get through it.
We are like on a lifeboat, and we see the tropical island at the end. We still have to row a lot just to arrive to the destination.
A couple of storms will pass by.
Unfortunately, Great. Oh, fantastic. Great catch up, Dieuwke. I don't know what. I don't know if you have a last word you want to share with us, or consideration. Or...
No, not really. But if you come to Amsterdam, all of a sudden once, just visit us, and I will catch up in a cup of coffee then later, and 1.5 meter distance, of course.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the chat, and hopefully
maybe if someone else wants to check in, if you want to like have a discussion about maybe what we did with the walking routes or with the doors, just let me know. And
I will share some of the pictures that you shared already on your blogs and social media, so that we can figure it out. So there are things which are similar in almost in every places, but so your environment, which is very also interesting.
We also have an environment with different kinds kind of groups. So we have our office, we have our co-working, we have events, we have people who are coming in for coffee. So yeah, we have to really be creative about those routes and how we can create the best routes for everyone.
Yeah, so, yeah. It's like in hospitals. So it's funny because more and more those office space and co-working space, it looks like the hospital when you have all the color, routes for if you need to make a radio or go to the brain surgery. Or
it's also a bit like Schiphol, like our airport.
That's true.
So and also about signing. That's you can learn a lot from Schiphol about signing. So
interesting. Also, the interesting concept that indeed we should get our inspiration from airports.
Yeah,
manage our flow of people.
But I'm already every time when I was on the airport, I was already like impressive, like looking at all those routes and how they are managed. There's such a crowd control, actually.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much again for catching up. Wish you the best, and I hope we can meet, in person very soon. And
another way we do virtual coffee, right?
Yes, sure. And we hope to see you in Vienna for the Coworking Europe conference.
Yeah. Hope so.
So perfect. Thanks a lot. I'm turning off the camera now.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.